Have you ever wondered what really lies behind the grandiose pyramids of Egypt? Are they just tombs, or is there something more, something that defies our understanding? Get ready to delve into ancient mysteries and discoveries that could change everything you knew about these enigmatic monuments. The real story behind the pyramids is more fascinating than any theory you've ever heard. The pyramids of Giza are one of the greatest enigmas in human history, fascinating scholars and curious people around the world for millennia. When we think of them, the first image that comes to mind is that of imposing monuments built to serve as tombs for Egyptian pharaohs. However, this traditional explanation may be too simplistic for the complexity of these structures. The idea that the pyramids were simply tombs is challenged by many alternative theories, which suggest that they could have served other purposes, more closely linked to religion, astronomy, or even mystical concepts that escape our modern understanding. Ancient Egypt was a deeply spiritual civilization, and many scholars believe that the pyramids were closely linked to a belief in the afterlife, but also to cosmic and spiritual practices that may have had a purpose beyond the simple burial of kings. In relation to the religious role of the pyramids, it is interesting to note that many of them were aligned with stars and constellations that had great significance to the Egyptians. For example, the Great Pyramid of Giza is believed to be associated with the constellation Orion, associated with the god Osiris, who represented the afterlife. This astronomical connection suggests that the pyramids were more than just tombs. They were spiritual portals, designed to ensure the ascension of the pharaoh's soul to eternal life. Thus, they would not be mere stone monuments, but physical representations of a cosmic path, connecting rulers to a higher plane. Furthermore, the alignment of the pyramids with the movements of the stars may indicate a profound knowledge of astronomy, which raises the question of how the Egyptians managed to achieve such precision without the advanced technology we have today. Another intriguing aspect is the grandeur of the construction of the pyramids. For many, the pyramids are a symbol of the enormous skill and dedication of the Egyptian people. The Great Pyramid of Giza, with its millions of stone blocks, was the tallest structure in the world for over 3,800 years. The precision with which these stones were cut and positioned is impressive, and the methods used to build them are still unraveled by archaeologists. Some suggest that the pyramids may have been built as a reflection of the pharaoh's greatness, but others believe that they served a greater purpose, perhaps even linked to the harnessing of cosmic or spiritual energies. These monuments could actually be centers of power, not just status or wealth, but unseen forces that transcend the material. While most theories about the pyramids focus on their function as royal tombs, some alternative schools of thought suggest that they could have served an even more mysterious purpose. Some believe that the pyramids were sources of energy, capable of channeling cosmic forces or even healing. There is speculation that these structures could have been used for purification rituals or even as communication devices with beings from other worlds. Although there is no concrete proof, the idea that the pyramids had an energetic connection to the universe opens up a new perspective on their true purpose. Their precise alignment with the stars and other celestial bodies reinforces this theory, making it impossible to ignore possibilities beyond their simple funerary function. Still, the true reason behind the construction of the pyramids remains a profound mystery. Were they really just tombs for pharaohs, as is traditionally thought, or was there something more, something we have yet to understand? The fact that several ancient civilizations around the world, such as the Mayans and the Incas, also built pyramids with similar meanings, suggests that there may be a universal pattern of knowledge and beliefs that connect these cultures. This raises questions about the transmission of knowledge between ancient civilizations and whether they may have shared a deeper understanding of geometry, astronomy, and even mystical forces that we today are only beginning to explore. The answer to this mystery may lie in the design of the pyramids themselves, in the stars they point to, and in references to the distant past. The construction of the pyramids in Egypt, in particular, the Great Pyramid of Giza, remains one of the greatest engineering feats in history. With over 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing several tons, the sheer scale of this feat is staggering. Many wonder how an ancient civilization without modern technological resources could have accomplished something so grandiose. The answer lies in a combination of ingenious techniques, a large workforce, and a detailed understanding of mathematics and geometry. While many details about the construction are still unknown, there are several theories that attempt to explain how the pyramids were built, from simple ramps to more complex systems of levers and pulleys. The fact that the pyramids are still standing today, after thousands of years, is a testament to the skill and knowledge that the ancient Egyptians possessed. One of the most popular theories about how the pyramids were built is that ramps were used to transport the enormous stone blocks to the top. There are several suggestions as to how these ramps could have been designed, from straight ramps to spirals that wound up around the pyramids. The straight ramp theory, for example, suggests that a long ramp was built straight up the pyramid, where the blocks would be moved by workers using pulleys and ropes. The spiral ramp theory, on the other hand, proposes that a circular ramp was built around the pyramid, allowing the blocks to be moved more efficiently as the pyramid grew in height. While the question of how the ramps worked is still debated, one thing is certain. The Egyptians had a great deal of knowledge of physics and engineering. In addition to the ramps, many scholars suggest that the workforce involved in building the pyramids was not made up of slaves, as is often imagined, but rather a large team of skilled laborers. These laborers were likely craftsmen, engineers, and common laborers who were recruited for this monumental task. Evidence from tombs near the pyramids suggests that these laborers had considerable status and were well fed, which contrasts with the idea that they were forced to build the pyramids under inhumane conditions. In fact, many scholars believe that building the pyramids was a form of dignified labor that brought the population together in a collective effort to worship the gods and the pharaoh, reflecting the importance of religion and power in Egyptian society. The precision with which the stone blocks were cut and positioned in the pyramids is another area that continues to impress. The Egyptians used advanced stone cutting and transport techniques to ensure that the faces of the pyramids were perfectly aligned. The fact that the Great Pyramid is aligned with extreme precision to the cardinal points, and even to some stars and constellations, suggests a level of mathematical and astronomical knowledge that was ahead of its time. The geometry used to build the pyramids, such as the relationship between the number of sides and the height, is also an example of sophistication. These aspects not only highlight the skill of the builders, but also suggest that the pyramids had a purpose beyond simply serving as funerary monuments. Finally, the use of tools and resources to cut, transport, and position the stone blocks raises further questions about the methods employed by the Egyptians. Many believe that copper tools were essential for the work of carving and cutting the stones, since copper was one of the most abundant metals at the time. However, the stones used to build the pyramids, such as limestone and granite, were extremely hard, and this would have required even more effective tools. Some theories suggest that the Egyptians used harder stones, such as granite, to cut softer stones, such as limestone, which would have allowed for more precise cutting shapes. While there are still many mysteries about the exact techniques, what is clear is that the Egyptians had a deep knowledge of the natural resources available to them and knew how to make the most of them to create impressive works that have stood the test of time. One of the most impressive features of the pyramids of Giza and other pyramids around the world is their astronomical precision. The Great Pyramid, for example, is aligned almost perfectly with the cardinal points, something that only modern advances in technology could achieve with such precision. This alignment is no coincidence. The Egyptians had a vast knowledge of the cosmos, with an understanding of how the stars and planets influenced life on Earth. The relationship between the pyramid and the constellation Orion, associated with the god Osiris, suggests that the pyramids were much more than simple funerary structures. They functioned as spiritual portals, connecting the pharaohs to the celestial world. This alignment with the stars reflects an integration between the physical and spiritual worlds, something fundamental to the Egyptians. In addition to the connection with Orion, other pyramids also demonstrate a remarkable alignment with other celestial bodies. The Pyramid of Khufu, for example, is oriented in such a way that it reflects the position of the stars at certain times of the year. Some scholars argue that these orientations were related to religious rituals, intended to ensure that the pharaohs were in harmony with the universe after their death. This not only demonstrates the ability of the Egyptians to perform complex astronomical calculations, but also reveals a deep understanding of the cycle of the stars and the influence they could have on life and death. Thus, the pyramids were not just physical constructions. They served as spiritual tools, linking the realm of mortals with that of the gods and the stars. The precision with which the pyramids were built, taking into account astronomical alignment, is a reflection of the incredible ability of the Egyptians to apply their astronomical observations to architecture. To achieve such accuracy, they needed a deep understanding of the positions of celestial bodies, something they obtained by observing the sky over generations. The use of specific tools and techniques to measure angles and distances was also essential. This implies that the pyramids were more than just stone monuments. They were true representations of the cosmos on Earth, built to reflect the order of the universe and ensure that the pharaohs had a safe passage to the afterlife, accompanied by the stars. The complexity of the astronomical calculations used in the construction of the pyramids raises further questions about the level of knowledge of the ancient Egyptians. Many of the techniques they used to map and measure the stars were extremely sophisticated for their time. There are theories that suggest that the Egyptians had a system of measurement based on the stars, something that was used to guide the construction of the pyramids with millimeter precision. This shows that the Egyptians not only observed the stars, but also understood how they could be used in practical and spiritual ways. Their ability to apply this knowledge to the construction of such monumental structures calls into question our understanding of the history of science and astronomy. The relationship between pyramids and the cosmos is not limited to their construction and alignment, but also to their symbolism and the belief that they represented a direct connection between the physical world and the divine. For the Egyptians, the stars were associated with gods and cosmic forces that governed the order of the universe. The pyramids, therefore, were seen as points of intersection between the earth and the sky, creating a link between the pharaohs and the celestial gods. This spiritual relationship with the stars not only demonstrated the astronomical knowledge of the Egyptians, but also reflected their vision of an ordered cosmos governed by divine laws. Thus, the pyramids were much more than simple tombs. They were physical manifestations of the cosmic order, a reflection of the balance between the visible and invisible worlds. The pyramids, although predominantly associated with ancient Egypt, are not an invention exclusive to that culture. The idea of building pyramids originated in civilizations around the world, including the Mayans in Central America, the Incas in South America, and the Mesopotamians in what is now Iraq. Although the styles and materials used to build these pyramids vary, they all share one fundamental characteristic: a deep connection to spiritual and astrological beliefs. Somehow, these cultures, separated by vast geographical distances, developed similar structures, which raises the intriguing question of whether there was a common knowledge or shared inspiration among them. The phenomenon of pyramids in different parts of the world challenges our understanding of how these ancient civilizations could have influenced each other or even developed similar concepts independently. Although the Egyptian pyramids are the most famous, the Mayan pyramids, for example, are known for their role in religious practices and astronomy. The Pyramid of Kukulkan at Chichen Itza in Mexico is precisely aligned with the solar cycle, creating a stunning visual effect during the equinoxes. This demonstrates that, like the Egyptians, the Mayans had an advanced knowledge of celestial movements and incorporated this into their constructions. This similarity in astronomical interest among distant cultures may not be a coincidence, but a reflection of the universal spiritual ideas they held about the cosmos and deities. Furthermore, the Mayan pyramids, like the Egyptian ones, were also linked to beliefs about the afterlife and were used as temples and ceremonial centers, demonstrating a clear parallel between the two civilizations. The fact that other cultures built pyramids with functions so similar to those of Egypt, such as the Mesopotamian and Inca civilizations, also indicates a common idea of monumentality and spirituality. In Peru, the Huaca del Sol Pyramid, in the Moche culture, and the Sacsayhuaman pyramids in Cusco also show the importance of large, elevated structures, often with a link to religion, offerings, and ceremonies. Just as the Egyptians saw their pyramids as points of connection with the gods, these other civilizations also built their pyramids with the purpose of honoring their gods and ensuring a sacred link between heaven and earth. While the specific forms and functions may have varied, the spiritual meaning behind these structures seems universal, suggesting that the idea of a stairway to the gods was common across many ancient cultures. The similarity between pyramids in different parts of the world also challenges traditional notions of cultural exchange between ancient civilizations. The geographic distance between these cultures, for example, Egypt and Mesoamerica, was immense, and direct communication between them seems unlikely. This raises the possibility that these societies developed their own independent approaches to pyramid building, perhaps based on universal ideas about the cosmos and the sacred. For example, some theories suggest that pyramid symbolism may have arisen from a desire to reach heaven or to create a physical representation of the connection between the earth and the divine. While we cannot prove that these cultures had direct knowledge of each other, the overlap in ideas about pyramid structure may point to a common principle, deeply rooted in shared spiritual beliefs. This connection between pyramids from different cultures may also suggest the existence of lost knowledge or spiritual practices that transcended cultural boundaries. If there was indeed an exchange of ideas between these civilizations, whether through direct contact or more subtle influences, it suggests that understanding the cosmos, spirituality, and the afterlife was a common theme among ancient societies. The similarity in the pyramids and their spiritual meanings may therefore be evidence that humans, regardless of their location, shared an interconnected worldview, where heaven and earth were in constant dialogue. If this is true, the pyramids may not only be monuments to the greatness of a people, but also symbols of an ancient wisdom that has united cultures over time and that may still be hidden within their structures. The mystery surrounding the pyramids of Egypt continues to be a source of fascination and speculation, even millennia after their construction. Traditional explanations of their function as mere tombs of pharaohs have been challenged by a number of theories that suggest deeper, even spiritual purposes. In some of these theories, the pyramids are seen as energy devices, capable of channeling cosmic forces or acting as spiritual amplifiers. This type of speculation gains strength when we consider the precision with which the pyramids are aligned with the stars and celestial movements, something that seemed to go beyond the simple desire to build burial tombs. The possible cosmic energies that these structures could contain make the idea that the pyramids were built for a mystical purpose even more plausible. Speculation about the pyramids as energy sources is not limited to the realm of alternative science, but also finds support in some more recent archaeological approaches. Research into the alignment of the pyramids and their relationship to Earth's magnetism suggests that the pyramids may have been designed to interact with the Earth's magnetic field. The Great Pyramid of Giza, for example, is so precisely aligned with the cardinal points that some theorists believe it may have been used as a receiver or transmitter of cosmic energies. Although these ideas are not yet widely accepted in scientific circles, they open up new possibilities for how the ancient Egyptians viewed the universe and its relationship with invisible forces, suggesting that the pyramids were more than just feats of engineering, but also points of convergence between the material and spiritual worlds. Another aspect that contributes to the mystery of the pyramids is the relationship between these structures and the religious rituals of ancient Egypt. The belief that the pharaohs were gods or chosen by the gods, this makes it even more likely that the pyramids were seen as portals of communication with the divine. According to this perspective, the pyramids may have been built with the intention of creating a connection between the deceased pharaoh and the cosmos, ensuring his journey to the afterlife. The inner chambers, often filled with religious inscriptions and artifacts, may have been designed to aid in the process of spiritual transition, allowing the pharaoh's soul to ascend to heaven and unite with the gods. Thus, the pyramids would serve not only as tombs, but as central elements in a complex system of immortality rituals. There are also other theories that suggest that the pyramids may have had a more practical function in the context of Egyptian beliefs. Some research suggests that the pyramids may have been used to generate and store energy, possibly with the help of specific materials present in their construction. The idea that the pyramids were cosmic batteries, or devices that could generate energy fields, continues to be explored by scholars seeking to understand the structure's purpose beyond the religious realm. The mysterious presence of crystals, minerals, and other highly conductive materials within the pyramids also lends credence to these speculations. However, the true nature of this energy, and whether it actually existed in a practical or symbolic form, remains largely a mystery. While traditional explanations view the pyramids as simple tombs or monuments of power, other approaches suggest that they represent a type of hidden knowledge that has been preserved over the centuries. The pyramids, with their precise geometry and celestial alignment, may have been created not only to pay homage to the pharaohs, but also to serve as centers of wisdom, where deep understanding of the cosmos and spirituality intertwined with the daily practices of the Egyptians. If the pyramids did indeed contain a type of knowledge or energy that we do not yet fully understand, it could redefine our view of antiquity and the capabilities of civilizations that preceded us. The true purpose of the pyramids, therefore, may lie beyond any known theory, awaiting a revelation that may take decades or centuries to fully understand.